Hello and welcome. Welcome back to the Facing Your Fears series. We are Ruben Allen, law firm consultants, primarily in the space of working with minority owned, women owned law firms, small law firms, solo attorneys, mid sized firms, practice groups. We work in conjunction with Marshall Graham, who is an attorney and executive search firm. And we're going to talk about the Facing Your Fears series. We're right back here. And so we've talked in the past, and in the past few episodes have been, you have recruited your team, you've worked on communication with clients, and now you have this one problem, and it's kind of organization, time management. What do we do about the time management? Because now you got so much work coming in. You have people to manage, things to do, more responsibilities than it was when you were just a solo attorney working out of your home office, basement, garage, or whatever it is you work out of. And so now time management has become an issue. And the reason why time management is important, it's it improves efficiency, it improves productivity. You want to get this time management thing right. You need to get it right. Because when you do get it right, when you do have time management under wraps, and no one will be completely 100% the greatest when it comes to time management, scheduling, calendaring, whatever it may be. But when you feel like you're getting it right to the point where you're getting it right, it reduces stress. It's stress relief. It reduces anxiety. It gives you more time, and that's plain and simple. Work-life balance, more time with the family, kids, to read, fish, take up a hobby, whatever it is, the time management. It also allows for you to have more opportunities. And when I say more opportunities to network, more opportunities to bring clients in, more opportunities to go out there and business development, more opportunities to expand your team. And it also gives you the ability to realize your goals. When you set out that 90-day plan and those goals and you use time correctly, you start to see those goals come into play, come to fruition. You see the rewards from attaining or getting close to attaining those goals. So I guess the first thing you need to do, since we were talking about goals, is to, and yes, I will come back to this often, goals are very good. Make sure you set your goals correctly. You want to set, and we've all heard it, SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, timely. You want to set these goals. And I think the most important part about these SMART goals is just make sure they're realistic goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, timely, and I would also add realistic. Maybe you can interchange realistic for relevant, because if they are realistic, they will be relevant goals. Two, you want to prioritize wisely. And when I say that, I think it's important, urgent, kind of set, I guess, tables, almost urgency tables, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, always have things important and urgent. You can label them important and urgent. These are the things that you want to do right away. Then you have your important but not urgent. These are important things, but they don't need to be done immediately as soon as you walk through the door, but they need to get done. And they usually have a timeline to them, a time component. Then there's the urgent, but maybe not important. These may have a timeline, but not so much of a strict timeline where it's a must. And then they may not be as important. These are the ones you want to do if possible. A lot of times I suggest that people schedule their calendars the day before. So the evening before, you schedule out your calendar for the next day or next 2 days or whatever it may be. Now, this is urgent, but to some it may not be as important. Some, they may just get up extra early in the morning and set that out, those calendars out for that specific day or that specific half day. And then lastly, there's the not urgent and the not important. And these you can always set aside from it. These are just things that are on your mind, but when you really dig into it, you think about it, maybe they're not that important. There's no timeline component to it. There's no revenue component to it. It's just something that you possibly have to do, but not right away. What you also want to do is to like set a timeline, set a time limit to complete a task. You know, attorneys, we work under deadlines, we work under pressure, we work under deadlines all the time. And maybe block off time and say, hey, by 2 weeks from now, I need to get this done. By Friday, I need to get this done. And stick it in your calendar and block it and just make sure that you're hitting those timelines. You can have reminders. There's calendars with 5-hour reminders, 18-hour reminders, 2-day reminders. So you know as the week goes along, hey, this deadline's coming up. I got to make sure I have this done. And that's something I use all the time. I write in a book, in my calendar book, and I also put it on my computer. So wherever I'm going to see it when that timeline is coming up. You also, as you're setting things off and you're blocking in calendars and you give yourself, say, 45 minutes to do something. And then you have something to do later in the day that may take like 2 hours. You want to block it off so you can give yourself time to relax, to breathe. So I like to do 45-minute or 90-minute blocks and then take a break, whether it's 15 minutes, half an hour. Sometimes put that lunch there just to make sure that I get away from the desk, the computer, the papers, whatever it is. Gather yourself, get yourself back. Don't let the work consume you. And so you kind of want to give yourself time to just breathe, right? Another thing you want to do is you want to organize yourself. And that's where the calendar is. And I talked about this a few minutes ago. Block out for projects. Hey, I got to write this brief or this memo, whatever it is. It's going to take me 2 hours. Let me block this out completely. And that's what I'm going to work on. I'm not going to take calls unless it's completely urgent. I'm going to block this 2 hours to do this. Hey, I need to prepare for trial. I'm going to use these 2 hours this evening, 5 to 7, to kind of go over my notes. I'm going to block this out. I'm not going to take any calls. I'm not going to answer any emails, and I'm going to block it out, and I'm going to prepare for this trial. Just make sure that you stick true to this. I know it sounds a little rigid sometimes, but what it does, it helps you manage that time. It helps you keep that organization. You also want to remove like non-essential tasks or activities. We all say, oh, this is important, but it's really not essential. Why are we putting it on our account? Why are we taking time off? This can probably be done, when I'm in the supermarket on my phone. I can just hurry up and get it done. I don't need to block off time. It's not essential. It's not an emergency. Just let me not take up time that should be reserved for essential activities with non-essential activities. And of course, it's plan ahead. Always plan ahead. And I've touched on this. I set up my calendar for the next day, the night before. Sometimes I may even set up my calendar for the entire week on Sunday evening. Just plan ahead, kind of know what I'm looking forward to. And that way it gives me time to look ahead on Tuesday, see what kind of time I'm working with on Thursday and Friday. It allows me on Friday, maybe to see what kind of time I'm looking at next Monday. This weekend, when I'm enjoying myself and I'm doing things, I'm like, oh my God, I have to do X, Y, Z. Let me look at my calendar real quick, Sunday night. oh, I have time here. It allows me to plan ahead and plan accordingly on what I need to do, when I need to do it, how much time I have to do it. Now, what happens when your time management is poor? That's the good question. One, it's poor workflow. Your workflow, your work product is not good. Um, you're bouncing from task to task because you haven't really settled your mind or committed that 45 minutes, hour to the task at hand. And we've all done this where we start something 15 minutes into it. Oh, we think of something else. And then we start doing that something else. And then we do that for 15, 20 minutes. Oh, we go back to the first thing. And oh, a third thing pops up. And it's kind of, you want to keep your workflow flowing. Two, wasted time. Again, you pop from task to task, you wear yourself out. It takes you time when you stop one task after 15 minutes to ramp up to get into the other task. Maybe that takes you another half an hour to just even start to ramp up. Now you're trying to go back to the first task, you got to ramp right back up, re-ramp, and you're wasting time. Next thing you know, the whole day is gone and you haven't finished either one of those tasks. And you're wasting time by not focusing. Another thing is three would be, you kind of lose control of yourself. You lose control of your business. You lose control of your time, and you become a slave to the clock. And you lose that work-life balance because instead of being organized and being done at 6, now you're going unorganized, and you got to keep popping back and forth. And next thing you know, 9, 10, 11 o'clock rolls around, and you still haven't finished what you need to finish. And so now you become a slave to your own lack of time management. Poor work product, which goes hand in hand with poor workflow. You're rushing. You don't take time to finish things out. You're always pressing up against deadlines. Therefore, your product isn't as genuine or as crisp and clean as it should be or needed to be. And then lastly, your reputation suffers. If you miss meetings, your work product's not that great. People start to talk. Say, hey, you can't use him. I used him for a real estate transaction, and he was all over the place. I mean, I had to remind him of some things that he needed to have put in the contract. It just wasn't fun. It was delayed. He would say he'd have it to me by Tuesday. Thursday would roll around, Friday would roll around. He still didn't have it, and I'd get it sometimes the Sunday night, next Sunday night. It wasn't a pleasant experience. So your reputation it takes a hit with that. So, time management is very important. You want to just put yourself in the best position to be successful, and to be successful in that best position, you need good time management skills to be good both professionally and personally. Have time for both. Time enough to put in quality and enjoyment in both your professional and personal life with time management. That's my spiel on that. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time on The Right Hand.